Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel, Breaking Barriers. Today, we are going to address a deeply personal and important topic: childhood trauma. Did you know that in the United States alone, 34.8 million children are exposed to traumatic events? That's more than half the children in the country. Yes, you heard right. 34.8 million children are exposed to traumatic events. So let's get to our main topic of tonight and welcome again. Childhood trauma refers to experiencing various forms of abuse or adverse events during your formative years. So it can have a profound and long lasting effect on your mental, emotional, and physical well being. But how can you tell if you experience it? How can you tell? Well, let's explore this together. If you find yourself struggling with anxiety, depression, or mood swings, that might be a sign that you've experienced childhood trauma. Other signs might include difficulty forming or maintaining a relationship, low self-esteem, or engaging in risky behaviors such as substance abuse or self-harm. You may also experience intrusive thoughts or memories related to past traumatic events. So, for me, one of the most challenging aspects of coping with childhood trauma was learning to recognize how it was impacting my life. It took me time and support from loved ones for me to acknowledge that I had a problem and I hadn't healed from my past traumas. That's the reason why I was coping with drugs. So I had to address this past experiences in order for me to start healing. So let's talk a little bit about the cause and effect of childhood trauma. So childhood trauma can stem from various sources. It can, well, for example, physical abuse might involve being hit, slapped, or beaten by a parent or caregiver. Emotional abuse can take the form of constant criticism, belittling, or verbal attacks. Sexual abuse involves any unwanted sexual activity, abuse. I'm sorry, when it comes to the sexual abuse part, I always got to take a moment. But unwanted sexual activity, including touching, fondling, or penetration. And neglect occurs when a child's basic needs, such as food, shelter, and um, emotional support, are constantly not met. Additionally, exposure to community violence, natural disasters, or accidents can also be traumatic experiences for children. So, how do we know if we experience it? That was a question earlier. Well, maybe you can say, well, I've never been abused by my parents. I've never been physically abused or slapped around. I wasn't emotionally abused by my parents. I wasn't criticized. I wasn't sexually abused or neglected. I always had food, shelter, a roof over my head. But did you witness it? Because there's a difference. If you witness your parents being abusive to one another, if you witness your father or mother, either one belittling or any family member inside your home were using substances or alcohol was being used, or there was any type of unhealthy behaviors going on in your house and you witness this, there's might be a chance that you've been exposed to childhood trauma. Also, if you lived in a neighborhood that you constantly, every time you went out, you witnessed either prostitution, exchange, or use of drugs, gang violence, or if you witnessed the death of a parent at a young age, all those might be signs that you were exposed to childhood trauma. So let's reflect on that a little bit, okay? So reflecting on my own experience, I realized how complex and multi-phase um, that causes of childhood trauma can be. It's important to acknowledge that trauma can come from various sources and may have different effects on each individual. It has different effects in each and every single one of us. So the effects of childhood trauma can be long lasting and far reaching, impacting various aspects of your life into your adulthood as well. So you might find yourself struggling with anxiety disorder, depression, or post traumatic stress disorder known as PTSD. Trauma can also affect your physical health, increasing your risk of developing chronic conditions like heart disease or autoimmune disorders. Additionally, you may experience difficulties in forming or maintaining healthy relationships, both romantic and platonic, and may struggle with trust and intimacy as well. Those are some of the causes of childhood trauma. So, if you suspect that you've experienced childhood trauma, it is important to seek support and guidance to begin your healing journey. Therapy or counseling can provide a safe and confidential space to explore your experiences, process your emotions, and develop coping strategies to manage the effects of trauma. Techniques such as cognitive behavioral, known as CBT, or mindfulness based interventions, or particularly affecting in addressing trauma related symptoms and promoting healing. So these are very important. And I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna hear me talk about a lot about God and the transformation that He has made in my life. It's been I can't even explain it. Like where I used to be to where I'm at. So I'm always gonna give the glory to God for me being able to be here and stand in front of you. But I also promote therapy because it is very important. Like we say, tools. God also provides us with tools. So it's very important to keep in mind that we do need support from others in order for us to heal from our traumas. It is very important. So I want to share with you that therapy played a significant role in my own healing journey, providing me with tools and strategies to navigate the challenges of childhood trauma. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness, but rather courageous step towards healing. So don't be ashamed or feel any certain type of way because you're asking for help. It is okay, and that actually shows that your strength. So applaud yourself if you seek help or are planning to seek help. I promote that because it is very important for us to heal. I also want to remind you that building a support network of friends, family, or support groups can also be a valuable source in your recovery process. Connecting with others who have experienced similar traumas and can provide validation, understanding, and a sense of belonging. Engaging in self care practices such as regular exercise, mindfulness meditations, or creative expression can also help us soothe and regulate our nervous system, reducing symptoms of anxiety and depression, which also the Bible can provide that comfort. But I just want to make sure I mention that. So remember, all these are tools and techniques we can use in order to reduce that anxiety and depression. So engage in self-care practices, okay? Surrounding myself with a support network of friends and loved ones has been instrumental in my healing journey. So don't hesitate to reach out to those you trust for support and understanding. It is very important. So remember, healing from childhood trauma is a journey. So be patient and compassionate with yourself. As you navigate your healing process, remember that you deserve a life free from the burdens of the past traumas. It is important to acknowledge that healing from childhood trauma is not a linear. It's not linear. It may require time and patience. So be kind to yourself and celebrate the progress you make along the way. So it's okay to celebrate every milestone, every goal you achieve. It's okay to celebrate. Give yourself that because you deserved it. You earned it. So I just want to say thank you so much for joining my YouTube live tonight. I just wanted to bring a little bit of knowledge about childhood trauma. If you haven't seen my first episode where I'm talking about from pain to hope, it was a little bit related to. I just wanted to make sure that people understood what childhood trauma, the causes and effects of childhood trauma. So I just wanted to share this with you all. And I want to thank you all again in advance for joining me. Thank you. And remember, please support the community. Please support. I am trying to build a community here. We do have a Facebook private group. It's called at Breaking Barriers, and it will be on the link below on the YouTube description. So please remember, you can also join. It's just a little questionnaire, but I invite you to join and help the community and be able to learn with us and grow. It is a Christian based community, Breaking Barriers. And again, thank you so much for joining me today as we explore this deeply personal and important topic. If you resonate with anything discussed, know that help and support are there. They're available. So don't hesitate to reach out to a trusted friend, a family member, or a mental health professional. Take care of yourself and remember you are not alone. We are praying for you and we believe that healing is possible. It's just a journey. It's a journey, but we'll be there with you along the way. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. And again, I want to remind you that it is very important for you to click the subscribe button. Click the subscribe button, hit the like button, and remember to hit the notification bell for notifications on upcoming episodes. Thank you so much. This is Trauma Addiction Recovery Coach Sonia. Until next time.